Oh, that's it. Welcome to Rick's Life as I See It. As you can see, if you're here, that I'm the only one. I don't have any panelists at the moment. And by the looks of it, I don't have any people either. Let's make sure I done it right this time. Yes, I have. So, where is everybody? I don't know, but there we go. I don't know if I'm going to be here long tonight anyway, because I don't feel that good. Hey, Raphael. I think you're the only one. Don't see anybody else. Aha. All right. I can welcome. Hey, Kingpin. I can introduce my panelists. One of them finally showed up. New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing all right. Sorry for the delay there.
That's all right. I figured, spring, summer's coming. You're working longer and all that good stuff. So
It's true.
And plus you need to earn money to buy those new clothes. That you showed on Facebook. Was it Facebook?
No. Community page, YouTube. So.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I know I saw it somewhere where you scored something and you bought some for her as well.
Yeah, I got home and it wasn't more than an hour before she was like, "Well, why didn't you buy me something or something like that?" And I was like, "So
Yeah.
You know how it goes." Now
Yes.
she loves them. So.
Yes. All right. Then let me see who we got in the room. So we got Raphael was the first in tonight. Kingpin, Two Live Moo, Tactical Fud, Chris from the 740, Defense Dad. So people are starting to drop in. That's good to see. That's good to see. I'm just waiting for a few more, on this great way. Actually, today's temperature, I don't, let's see what it is. I think it just finally, at 7:03, it's still 80 degrees here. And it got up to about 84 today, I think. But starting tomorrow, there's a cold front coming through. It's going to drop down to the mid 60s for the next 3 or 4 days. But that's how it goes into the springtime. So, all right. Now, as you all can see, I've done this on purpose because this is one of my topics. I've talked about this for ages. When I say I wear my, he's carrying a gun vest. This is it right here. This is my carrying a gun vest. Let's see if I can stand up. You might be able to see my shorts on. See? I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's got the pockets here and here and here and here. It's more like, to me, it looks more like a fishing jacket, But inside, it's got these. I got two pockets on each side, and they have sort of like, I don't know, elasticated sort of bands or holsters in there, where you put your firearm. They got. I could go double fisted because they got one on this in this pocket too. So you think if you saw somebody wearing this, would you automatically think, "Oh, he's carrying a firearm"? That's my question.
No.
Mind you, I'm giving it away little. I got these are earplugs here. They're just regular foam ones, But I mean, that's where the gun sits. You don't even see it when it's in there. I don't have it here right now. I forgot to put it in there. But yeah. So I'm just letting you guys know this when I talk about it. This is what I'm on about. This is what I wear. I wear this every day. So,
To
But
me,
instead of
I wouldn't instantly think you had a gun. I mean, maybe with closer detail or something, but just that across the room, I don't know. I mean, and personally, I mean, I don't really, you know,
yeah, it's. I mean, this
question everybody that walks by anyway, really.
you can't see it because I'm sitting down, but it's even got 1, 2, 3 pockets here for magazines, extra magazines. You know, it's got inside pockets. It's all kind of
Hmm.
good shit here. It's almost like a Paul Harrer coat, you know, because used to wear something like this. No, but I'm saying, I mean, but unfortunately, when I used to carry my 45 um, Smith and Wesson, magazines would fit in here no problem, and they would stay in there. But unfortunately, my 380 magazines don't stay in there. They flop around, and if I move too fast or bend over, they fall out. So I see there's I just keep it in this little pocket at the top here. You know, that's my magazine, my spare magazine with the self defense ammo in it. So I keep that in my top pocket here. Oh, what else I got? So far, I haven't used them on the range yet. I've used them around the house and in the car and stuff. But I know they're cheap. But how do you pronounce it? Caldwell? Is that the name of them? CALD? Well, anyway, I got I got the Bluetooth ear oops earpieces to use to block out the noise. See what they're because I've noticed I've got these and they're Bluetooth. You can listen to music. You can answer your phone too. Plus, it blocks out the noise of the shot. So it claims I haven't shot anything to find out. But I made loud noises and stuff like dropping a book on the floor, clapping and stuff, and it does block it out. So we'll see how that goes. But I said these a year or two ago these sold for around $140. You know, I got and they I guess the brown ones or the what do they call it IDF or whatever the color they call it the black they're $80 for a set but you get it in the brown. I got these on Amazon. It cost me $50. I thought that was a good deal just to try them out. I know that's way too much money for you, Rob. But the reason I got them was I was been meaning to get some for ages. Is like when I'm firing the AR-15, because I normally wear earmuffs like this, and it sort of butts up against. Sometimes it butts up against the stock when when I'm holding it. Then it pushes up slightly, and then it's not actually sealed to block the noise out that well. And as you know, an AR-15 is damn loud. So that's what I was doing. That's why I got those. I'll give them a try. If they don't work, I'll go back to my other ones and see how it goes. But see, I'm trying to get motivated again, like I was saying last week. So I'm getting ready. So there we go. All right. So I got that. I got that. Oh yeah. So I got that one. Oh yes. My as it happens, we roughly talked about this. Was it last week or the week before about the left-handed market? That actually happened to be an article in my because you all know I'm a member of the United States Concealed Carry Association. their magazine that you get for the price they send out to you, they actually had an article in there about left-handers and the way the market doesn't really, except for the odd holster, they don't really cater to the left-hander. And
how do we know the person that wrote that article wasn't a lefty?
Oh, he
And
was.
it's
He
not
said he
just
was.
biased. Oh, so it's just a biased piece of work then, is what you're
No, it's a
saying.
fact that the industry, I mean, not only firearms, but everywhere, is because left-handedness is only 10 to 15% of the world, not the United States, the world population. We're not talking about gun owners, we're talking about the world are left, 10 to 15% are left-handed. But basically, and I agree with him, you guys, you right-handers discriminate against me. And there's got to be a way I can sue everybody for it. There's got to be.
So is this like one of them third bathroom things where we got to throw another bathroom everywhere just for
left-handers only
or whatever? I don't know. I mean,
no, but
are
you
you
think
asking for something special that the rest of us are supposed to deal with?
well,
higher prices because
okay.
they got to make you lefty guns.
You go to your shooting range, and you sign up for a shooting course of some sort, right? Say there's 10 to 15 people in the class. Say 15. 14 of them are right-handed, and I'm the only left-hander there. And what the instructors normally say, just mirror what the right-handers do. Right? The problem is this when it comes to just aiming, keep both eyes open, pull the trigger, that's fine. But as I said last week, let's see where I don't even know where my keys are. I should have got one out, but I didn't want to get busted on YouTube. But as I said, sometimes thumb safety's on the wrong side, or if it's not ambidextrous. I mean, see, the firearm industry has started to put ambidextrous stuff on firearms, but I mean, as I told you, even if you want, I can change the mag release button on my firearm to the other way around for I can do it left-handed. But it doesn't come that way. I have to change it myself. Discrimination. You buy it, you can shoot it right out of the box. I got to mess around with it before I can shoot it. It's discrimination, plain and simple. But I'm just saying. So,
well, it's not just lefties. Like, all the Glock people, they got to buy like color doodads and everything and sights and stuff before they can use theirs too.
Yeah, well, the Glock crowd they're just weird. That's not discrimination. They are just weird.
Well, and same thing with like CZs. Like you can't shoot a new CZ without getting a latte. From what I heard, I don't know.
I've heard that too. But I mean, but I'm saying, because as I told you last week, if I'm holding a gun, and what I'll do is, because normally I will leave the mag release on the actual side it comes with, right? And normally what will happen is if I'm shooting left-handed, right, I will take it, put it in my right hand, press the button, get my left hand, jab the magazine in, and go. I mean, I adapt to make it work, right? So I'm at a disadvantage before we even start. But as you know, I can shoot right-handed if I wanted to. I learned to shoot with both. But it's it's just I just felt discriminated against. That story It's a pretty good story. I mean, and why they discriminate against you, I do not know. I mean, but some of the greatest people in the world were left-handed.
Well, you know, we like you already answered it in a sense because it's such a small percentage. So
Yeah.
companies, sell stuff to make money. So
But out of that small percentage, a lot of
yeah,
great people in this world were left-handed.
I don't know. I don't know.
Hey,
That's
you,
debatable, but
you should be right on it. Your man with the Yankees, Babe Ruth, was left-handed.
oh,
He batted left-handed.
yeah,
And two or three other Yankees were left-handers.
nah, as we
I'm
said
just
last
throwing him
time,
out as an example.
yeah,
But there's
I-
artists, and I think there was 4 or 5 presidents of the United States who are left-handed. The last one, unfortunately, was a Democrat. Was Obama? He was left-handed. I didn't know. I never paid attention, but he was left-handed. So what's that? Your dinner, dessert, pizza?
No, that's homemade baked mac and cheese, still bubbling and sizzling.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can smell it from here. It's disgusting. Now you're going to be late eating that because you're sitting there, or you're going to eat it while you're talking to me.
I'll probably eat it while I'm talking to you because I
Okay.
can't. It's got to still cool and everything.
Okay. Will and Well Armed is here. Wow, how you doing? Ain't seen you in ages. Hope you're doing okay. So there we go. Just happened to notice he was in the chat there. So yeah. So back to my discrimination. Now I think they actually make more long guns, rifles, left-handed than they. I personally, I'm not saying they're not out there. I personally haven't seen a firearm that was literally out of the box set up for a left-hander. Totally. And I've never had all the training I've had, I haven't had any in years, I must admit. I should get back into it. But even the woman that I went to for lessons, I actually had shooting lessons because I had no clue which end, I know which end of a bullet comes out, but I never been around guns. I actually had lessons, so y'all should know this story. I've told it many times. But she was even right-handed, and I have to stop and think and say, sure, go do this, and I have to reverse it. And sometimes it don't work, reversing it, So there you go. So you think it's all, hey, Shady Hill Homestead, good to see you. See, problem is it's such a dominated right-hand world. You guys just do it with impunity. You just trample on us left-handers.
So, what are you crying for reparations or something?
Yeah, I am actually.
That's what bringing this up.
I know how the minorities feel now. So I'm just saying. Just one of the, I'm hard done by. You guys are always picking on me. So, you should be nice to me all the time instead of discriminating against me. So, I almost got a full box. I'm thinking I'm one bullet shy of a full box of 380 self-defense ammo in my ammo squared I was telling you about last week. I got 19 bullets of 380, and it takes 20 to get a box. I don't have it where they send it to me automatically. I'm going to request it. I'm just going to let it sit there and build up because I don't know how much the shipping is. I got to research it, but under $250 worth of ammo, you have to pay shipping. But if you have $250 worth of ammo sitting in your bank there, they ship it free. So I'll just wait till I get $250 worth to have it shipped to me. I'm in no rush. I got plenty of ammo. I can reload my own. I just thought I'd give it a try. So when you guys, so when the next, shortage happens, I'll have ammo sitting there waiting for me. All I got to do is pick up the phone and say, send it. So.
And they'll be like, oh, we're currently out of supply. Like Social Security, your ammo went to somebody else, and they're expecting somebody else to cover yours, but because of the thing going on, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Now, from what I can figure out, the way I've read it and everything, is like those 19 rounds of 380, right, are actually sitting in my whatever you want to call it, my crate or box or whatever they put it. It is actually it's more likely in their inventory. They more likely use a computer and say, oh, we got, if they had to hand out all the ammunition they had now that people have ordered, they should theoretically have it there because they doing a running inventory. So, I mean, if you ordered 380, I ordered 380, say you got 2 boxes and I got 1 box, they got your 2 boxes and they got my 1 box.
You would think, but, you would also think a bank should have all the money of the accounts that it's holding as well on hand, but doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, but now...
Or an insurance company can pay out, if there's a hurricane, they can pay off neighborhoods, roofs, or whatever's going on. But again, doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, I see. Look, you're such a negative person. You really are.
Hey, man, you gotta see through all that pretty stuff and find the bullshit. It's always there. You just gotta look for it. Sometimes you can live with it, but you got to accept that it's there.
Oh, I do. I researched this. This is a good Ammo Squared. You look them up. I'm telling you, it's a good deal. It's a good company. And I think for people on a budget, I think it's a good idea. To be able to. I told you, I do $25 a month. And I buy 357, 380, and 45 ACP. That's what I started with to see how it works.
True. But if you put that money in an envelope, you could just walk down or drive down to your local store and buy it. And then you don't have to worry
about it. Here you go.
Yeah.
Say I keep doing this, right? And at the end of the year, I have a few $100s sitting in ammo. You can cancel your account. They take all the bullets back and ship you and send and give you your money back. So it's a way of saving, ain't it? I mean, like all you guys
have
a
restocking fee or something.
You guys are rubbing your hands together at the beginning of the new year. Go, no, look, I'm going to get money off the government for my tax return. It's your fucking money to start with. But you think the government's doing you a favor. All they've done is used your money to send you Ukraine all year. And, and now you're asking for it back, and all they're doing is who's ever been paying taxes from January to now, that's the money they're using to cover your tax return. That's negative. That's the truth, how this U.S. government works. I mean, unfortunately, guys, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know if it's unfortunate or fortunate. I don't pay taxes anymore. I don't earn enough to pay taxes. And my state doesn't take tax out of Social Security. So, what can I say? You know, as if you would
Rumors
go,
are people
if
are
you would go
taking more.
along with Squibload, right? You guys are paying my Social Security because he thinks it's a privilege. You know, it's not. I paid into it. If the U.S. government had run Social Security like it was originally meant to be run, it was meant to be like a 401. So, yes, I may have only over my working career, say, put, $100,000 in it for argument's sake. But if they had run it like it was meant to be run, if you're on a 401, you put that amount of money of your own money into that 401, it's earned money. So maybe when you retire, you got $1 million. That's how Social Security was meant to work.
I don't know about that.
I'm just rounding it off to even numbers, but you know what I mean, right?
I know companies sometimes will match what you put in and stuff like that, but I think it's different. I think what I don't want to speak for Squib, but I think his argument is a lot of people get more than they pay. Is how it ended up working out.
But
So,
what I'm saying is, if I paid $100,000 for argument's sake, right, and they're meant to be doing it right, that $100,000 is meant to be earning me money.
yeah, but this is the government doing it right. Come on,
the government.
Come on now.
Now, is it my fault that the government doesn't do it right?
I guess
technically it is because
Yeah.
we voted those stupid idiots in there.
We as a community we accept this. We allow it.
Yeah.
I mean, why would they do anything different? You know?
But what I'm saying is, if they had done it right, like it was meant to be, it was meant to work like a 401, 401k. Your money was meant to earn, some stuff. Guns and barbecue. How you doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
All right. Good to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah. So what's new with you?
Just keeping busy. I appreciate all the invites since you fired the show back up. Just haven't been able to make it to one yet.
That's fine. I understand. But I'm glad you dropped by. Have you been listening already, or you just dropped in?
Not at all. Had the opportunity to jump on. I was like, it's 7:30. Rick's live. I was like, email. Boom, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about Social Security and taxes. I was what we were saying last week. Squibload was on the panel, and his belief is that that he pays for my Social Security is a privilege. Right. And I said, if the U.S. government ran it like they were meant to, it's just like a 401. The money I paid in over the years, yes, it might not be how much I get back, but that money was meant to be earning me money.
Mm-hmm.
And if the government didn't do that, that ain't my fault. That's all I'm saying. So I don't think it's a privilege. It's my money to start with. And they should have invested it like they were meant to, instead of taking it and instead of sending it to Ukraine and everywhere else they send it around the world.
Well, yeah, let's say the idea that the government, and it's not just with Social Security or anything, but I mean, where they just go, oh, well, we've got this or that, we're just going to dip into, like, you allocated the funds for this or that, etc., for such and such reason. You don't just start dipping into other things. If you're sitting there like, I really want to go on vacation, and so you make a vacation fund at your bank account at your bank, and then start dipping into your vacation fund that you went for 2 years or something because, oh, well, there's a new gun that I want to get, or, you know, who knows, whatever reasons, you know, you might have. Well, for that vacation and the money's not there, you know, you should have been more disciplined. And when it comes down to it, with Social Security and stuff like that, it was made for people to, you know, retire and have something to fall back on. And the idea that the government just treats it as a slush fund is ludicrous.
And as I was saying to Rob just before you dropped in, theoretically, I guess you can say that's our fault because we voted the idiots in there.
Yes.
You know,
But at the same time, you can say it's our fault, but when it's just that's how business is done, until we get somebody who's actually going to stand and say, hey, here's a bill saying this is not touched, then
yeah. I mean, they can do those, but unfortunately, I don't care how. There's been some great representatives who have gone there with great ideas, but within 2 years, they've been dragged into the swamp and gave up the principles for the money. Because what I'm saying is, I bet you they gave themselves a pay raise this year or last year when they done all the paperwork. They don't mention that, but I bet you they did. When somebody earns $174,000 a year, that's what it used to be for a congressman, right? And it's a 2-year term.
was that congressman or for Speaker of the House?
No, congressman, $174,000 a year, right? That's what we're paying. Taxpayers paying them, right? Well, 174 times 2, right? Is what less than where I'm going with this. But after 2 years, they all of a sudden you see written down somewhere, oh, this person, congressman for 2 years, is now net worth of $2.5 million. How in the hell did 174 and 174 come to $2.5 million? Because they taken the money and threw the principles out the window. Don't get me started. See, I don't like talking politics anymore. I just get too aggravated. You know,
What kind of cup you got there?
what's this? I don't know what kind of cup. It's a metal cup. What brand it is, I have no clue.
Looks
My lady friend bought it for me.
okay.
Yeah.
Stanley by any chance?
What?
Stanley by any chance?
No. I think it's some Chinese knockoff, to be honest with you.
Oh, and
She bought me this one because my other one I used, it was pretty nasty. I've had it for about 5 years, you know. So the only problem is I have to take the top off when you get real down near the bottom because it won't come out right. Normally, if I tip it up, it goes all over my shirt. Oh, I was right. I was reading Defense Dad here. A lot of Social Security money never gets paid out. They rely on a certain percentage of people dying before they reach the age that they are allowed to draw it out. What I worry about is if they succeed in raising the retirement age to 70, like they propose, then Social Security would raise the age of eligibility to match, and the more people die before they get the money. Absolutely.
Damn, 70? Like that's all right. That's already kind of sketchy because
well, they were
I
talking
think
about it.
the average guy dies at like 72, 73.
That's what they're yeah.
Like, what
that's the
the hell are they
reason I like
doing?
to raise it.
I mean, that's what they're saying. I mean, so most of the money never gets paid out. It goes into the slush fund of the U.S. government.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Also, Rick, I'd like to go back and just give Squib his due, though. Technically, he's right. You know, you look at the Bill of Rights. There's nothing that says you're entitled to Social Security. And if tomorrow it were to end, you know, tough noogie. You know,
Well, wait a minute now. Then nobody told them they could take it out your damn check either.
well, but I was going to get to that, but I'm pretty sure there would be some standing for people to say, "Hey, wait a minute, you're taking this out of my check. This is supposed to be there when I retire, et cetera, et cetera." If I'm fortunate to,
Yeah,
then
I mean, because
there would have to be some sort of payout. Not just for oh well, we took out this much this year.
hang on,
What about somebody that was paying in for 30 years? Well, then plus the interest. So
And
I agree.
In the Constitution, right? It says Congress is liable for all its debt. It means it's got to pay its debts, right? They owe me money. It's my money, so they got to pay me. So it is in this Constitution. You just got to figure out how it's worded. But Social Security was, what was it, done under Roosevelt or something way back then? And I think it was a good bill originally as it was written, but it's got watered down over the years. That's my take on it. But anyway,
Yeah.
see, you got me all worked up and flustered now.
I would just like to point out that bring this up. Rick mentioned it to me, so his frustration is of his own doing.
Yes, it is. It is. So, and that is not even on my list here either to talk about that. But did you hear at the beginning of the show when you guys are discriminating against me because I'm left-handed?
Well, I mean, you could just write with the right hand. You don't have to always use the wrong hand. Come on.
He wants reparations.
Yes, I want to be in on that. I think you guys should give me money for all the discrimination over the years.
We'll repair you. We'll get a really nice nun to come and start beating you the hand every time you start writing with that.
Talking about that.
You're already getting so scared, man.
All jokes aside, of course, my mother was English, and she went, brought up in England. The teachers there, she was left-handed, but they forced her to write with her right hand. They actually literally tied her left hand behind her back, literally, and make her write with her right hand. They forced it to her, and if they didn't tie her hand up and she went to pick the pen up, they would smack it with the ruler. As I tell you, that's what they used to do in schools.
Those rulers that really suck is those wooden ones that have the metal spine.
Yes. I've been whacked with one of those many a time. I
haven't. I just imagine it would suck. Also, the friggin' triangle one had in tech ed and shop class and all that, those, like, we would just hit each other with those because you were young and dumb. Like, those things suck too.
Yeah, I tell you what really does hurt. I've told this story before. Is when I was in an English school, and we had he was a history teacher, and he was an English guy, but I think he could have played baseball as a pitcher, because when he'd be racing the chalkboard, and you'd be talking, he would spin around and throw that goddamn racer. It had a wooden handle. It was wooden on one side and the soft pad on the other. He would turn around and throw that thing, guaranteed to hit you every time, either the side of the head or in the chest. Chalk goes everywhere.
And they ever pick it up and throw it back at him?
And you guys think you had it bad in school. I got caned once. I got sent to the principal's office, or headmaster as they're called over there, and gave me the cane on my ass one time. Only got I can't remember. I don't think it was 6 hits. I think it was only 3. But damn it, I just sort of gritted my teeth and took it. I wasn't going to show them that it hurt me. I'm too tough for that. But see, and the ruler, I've been hit with the ruler by the teachers. All this punishment was when I was at an English school. When I was when I used to go to American school, I loved it. Never got in trouble. So, yeah, the good old days. So we were talking
I
about.
think that tells you something. I mean, you didn't like living under the English. You came to America and you liked it.
Yeah, true.
I think
true.
there's a good story there somewhere.
That's why I've always said I was an American. Even when I went to English schools, I would say I was an American. I never, as I told you the story, the only time I ever used my British side of me is getting back into the country, because I would travel on an American passport. I never had a British passport in my life. I don't want one. But sometimes back in the day, you had to, because you lived there, you had to have a visa saying you lived there permanently. And I never had one. I didn't want that stamped in my passport. That's why I never sent my passport in. But I would hold up my birth certificate and say, you got to let me in. And that's the only time I've ever used it. But anyway, besides the point. But there I'm in the diner. Was it yesterday? Yeah. And we're talking about things. There was a lady that comes in there. She works for the post office. And she comes, sits down at our table. She must be 20 years younger than all of us, right? She's talking to us and asking us questions and shit. And I'm talking. She's asked, well, what about you? She asked me, what about you? So I told her a couple of my stories from the English school. That's what made me think about it. And she goes, yeah. She's, I thought that, because she's been coming in for a couple of months now. She said, because you talk with an English accent. Do I? I don't think I do.
So, yeah, you're over there spilling your guts in this honeypot 20-year younger girl federal employee. What the hell? What are you doing? Don't be telling her nothing, man.
I'm not. Hey, I can tell her about my life. That I got nothing to hide. I'm on every watch. As I told her, you don't want to associate with me because I'm on every watch list out there.
Oh, man. Now you're on another list. Now the post office isn't even going to want to deliver to your house anymore.
As the T-shirt says, if you're not on a watch list, you ain't doing your job. Oh, Defense Dad. They tried to tell my mom I needed special education classes when I was in kindergarten because I couldn't use right-handed scissors. Mom lit into them for wasting her time. Yeah. See, I can't use, even today, because I'm left-handed. Like these are right-handed scissors. To use them left-handed is a pain in the ass. I try to cut right-handed, and I can't, because my right hand is not as good as my left. Well, it's better now because my left hand got damaged. But trying to cut a straight line with my right, I can cut with my right hand, but trying to cut a straight line is hard. So, there you go. Yeah. So
I assume it's probably what the hand mold on the scissors is different.
Yeah. Another thing is, you can find left-handed scissors, but it's very hard to find them. Because I was saying there's only 10 to 15% of the world population is left-handed. That's why a lot of manufacturers don't gear up to make that kind of stuff, because there's no money in it for them. They'd rather get 80% of the business than the 20% of left-handers. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it works. It's discrimination. you guys need to give me money. I'll take a new gun, thanks, if you want. And I don't want an expensive one. I saw a new one in the magazine the other day. It's only about $500. I'm not asking for a lot in reputation, whatever the word is.
So, Rob, let me get this straight. Rick's gone for 6 months and he comes back as a socialist.
Something, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, also, what we're talking about. This is my what I call he's carrying a gun vest that I wear. I've talked about it for years, but I just thought I had it. You missed it. I stood up so you could see it properly, And I was saying, does it look? If you saw me wearing this, would you say, "Oh, he's carrying a gun"? Was my question.
Nope.
I
used to have a vest almost just like that. Walked into a gun shop that really, it's a bait and tackle shop that thought, oh, we're just going to be an outdoor shop, and they wanted to sell some guns too. But when I walked in with a vest on very similar to that, he's like, oh yeah, all the fly fishing stuff and everything else is right over there. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, that's not what I'm in here for. And I was carrying full size 1911 in the vest.
Yeah. Defense Dad says barbecue can't weigh in on this topic. He carries a fanny pack.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I don't have it in there now, but I said these pockets, both sides have sort of like a holster, sort of like an elastic holster in there to hold the gun in place, and that's where I normally carry it. Now, I don't wear it during the real hot days of summer, but sort of like from Labor Day onwards, when it's cooler, I wear it until the next summer comes around. So
now, what exactly killed the fanny pack? Was it like Richard Simmons?
I don't know.
I'm curious.
Making a comeback.
I don't know. I'd like them to make a comeback. So there's a stigma, but I think they are very functional. Like depending on what like hiking shit like that. If you're really like doing something, I think it works. It's a workable system. Doing aerobics and spandex is probably not so much. But I don't know. I think it sucks they got such a bad stigma. I put it that way because
I think it was Richard Simmons that gave.
I don't know. Something really killed them, but they are a functional bag, hands free.
Yeah,
like going to the fair all day with kids and shit. That's you could do that. All types of different things.
But people started calling them fanny packs. Didn't help any.
Probably not, but now guys walk around with man bags, right? What the hell,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just one day said, this thing is functional. I need. I can carry my firearm. I can conceal, and most places just place at it. They're like, oh, okay, whatever. They'll be doing bag checks and just completely ignore it. I'm not saying to try that. I may have gotten lucky once or twice, but also with the one that I have, because I'm not a fan of the concealed carry fanny packs where it's just got this giant compartment right up front. Because I'm like, if I'm carrying in the fanny pack, like I'm doing it because I'm going where I don't want anybody to know that I've got this. And it's got a compartment on the back side with a zipper where I can actually kind of hide the zipper, everything like that. So if they ever said, hey, I'll just unzip everything, be like, oh, yep. And like, if I'm even worried that could happen, I'm not carrying extra mags. I'm just like, whatever's in the gun's in the gun. But then, I'll start pulling out Here's this bag of first aid stuff. Here's that bag of first aid stuff. Here's my wallet. Here's my phone. A couple pens. And okay, cool. And they could give a hoot less, and they never find out about that back pouch. But a lot of these concealed carry fanny packs, they just have this big pouch on the front. You unzip it, and boom, right there's your gun. Which if you really want to get to it fast, stuff like that, fine and dandy. But going to, and it's not like I'm carrying places where it's illegal for me to carry. It's just places that would rather you not. And we have this awesome thing in Pennsylvania where the sign does not carry the weight of law. So
we have that here too.
Yeah. So it's really convenient, and
I'm waiting for them to say I can carry in a post office. Because technically, the post office, the workers are not federal employees anymore. They haven't been since the 80s. But the buildings still belong to the federal government. And you can't carry in a post office because it's a federal building.
Yep.
So, but then I'm not saying I carry in the post office. But what they don't know don't hurt them, is the way I look at it.
Never.
I never carry in the post office. I always put it in my safe under my seat in my truck.
Is that still going to apply?
Not even able to have it in your truck, though, because you're on federal property.
Oh, see, I park on the street.
Is that still going to apply if the post office is rented?
Yeah, it's like embassies. Embassies overseas in a foreign country. It's American soil.
Well, that's just
you rent it. The money's coming for that rented building from the U.S. government, so it's U.S. government property per se. But I think this Congress is trying to pass a law saying that you can carry concealed in a post office. They're trying to pass that one. Not all federal buildings, but they don't have a problem with you carrying in a post office, which I don't see. I can't see what they're worried about. They don't really carry a lot of money per se. Maybe they got thousands of dollars worth of stamps, but that would be about it.
Do food stamps even get sent out like that anymore?
No, I'm talking about actual postage stamps.
Oh.
There's 68
cents
even
each. Still, what are you going to do with, thousands of dollars worth of stamps? Who's going and hawking those?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, in July, they go up to 73 cents, by the way, first class stamp.
Oh, God. None of that cheap stuff. Give me the forever stamps.
Put them all in the envelope.
Yeah. So, but you know what I'm saying? So I don't see why you can't carry inside the post office, because there's not really nothing in there to steal.
I don't see why either. Personally, I don't know. I think you should be able to take your gun pretty much anywhere if you're legal. So there's no difference if you're inside a building or you're outside in a parking lot with a judge or court for whatever. It doesn't matter.
Also, like even going into a federal court or state court, you can't carry. I think if they say I cannot carry inside the federal court or the town court or whatever, I think they should provide a locker where I can put my gun in it.
Mm-hmm.
Not make me store it outside where there's a chance of getting stolen.
Some do, but that's hit or miss. But some do offer a.
But that's what I'm saying. I think if they want a law, anybody that says you cannot carry in here should supply a locker for us to lock them up. But it's as I've told this story before, and I don't care. I'm on this watch list anyway. That. They tell you they ask you not to carry it inside hospitals and doctors' offices and stuff. The only place I don't carry it is if I have a doctor's appointment. As I told this story before, I've got it in my holster on my waist or whatever, and he says, drop your pants. I don't want it to fall out on the floor. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I don't carry it when I actually go to the doctor's office.
But usually
Still
they
carry
put you
fanny
in
pack.
a gown or something if they're going to inspect you like that. In that case, you can, put your stuff aside. I don't know. I've been to the hospital. A lot with firearms. They had a sign. It's not, basically the signs aren't held by law. Then they were, then they weren't, then they were, and now they weren't again. So it keeps going back and forth lately. But I've always, always when it was legal, I always carry a gun. Never had a problem, but I'm usually not there for me. I'm just, going bringing somebody or whatever. So, like the way I see it, if you can walk in with it, then why the hell shouldn't I have a gun? Because you didn't notice me with a gun. So what the hell are you gonna do? You're gonna notice the bad guy with a gun?
Oh, yeah, I know. I agree with
Like,
you.
what a freaking joke! Like, get the hell out of bag. The honor system don't work with criminals. Like, I'm gonna trust their honor. Screw that shit.
Oh, I agree
Take
with
me
you.
out if you want. I'll go wait in the car. I don't give a
I
shit.
mean, also, like your state, when I used to live in Rhode Island, same thing. Your state, for you to carry a gun, you got to go through that get a permit and everything else. Right? That ain't right. But where I'm going with this is a criminal ain't going to go through all that to get a permit to carry in New York. He's going to stick it in his waistband, and pull it out and hold it sideways like you do, Rob, and say, Abigail, you're absolutely right. Abigail says you can absolutely carry in a post office. There's no metal detectors. You're absolutely right. But under federal law, you cannot. I'm not saying you can't, but under federal law, it says you can't. That's all I'm saying. If you wish to carry in the post office, you go for it. But if you get, for some unknown reason, they decide to check you one day, and you got a gun on you, you could be running into a little bit of problem. I don't think you will, but
Or you go in there and the place is so run down that a ceiling fan just flies off the ceiling, bashes you in the head, knocks you out. They call an ambulance because you're like, oh my God, Next thing you know, you wake up getting searched and with an IV in you, chained to the bed because they found a firearm.
This is oddly specific, Rob.
Yeah, Abigail, I'm not arguing with you there. You're right. But look where you're going, constitutional law supersedes federal law. Then why can't you go down to gun store and have no problem buying a machine gun without going through all the bullshit that you have to get one? You can't. So under the Constitution, we should be able to buy anything. If I can afford it, I should be able to buy an F-16 if I want. You know what I'm saying? But
the problem with the idea of constitutional law supersedes federal law, 100%. Unfortunately, we've had thousands of politicians, dozens upon hundreds of judges that have perverted that and said, oh, well, this law doesn't violate the Constitution. And, they use twisted ways to go about it and then therefore say it's constitutional. And when those laws are put in place, it's not just for the Second Amendment. These things happen for, our First Amendment rights, Second, Fourth, Fifth, the list goes on. Red flag laws. I mean, there's a great point right there. How many states are enacting red flag laws? And until we get a case that can go up to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court says, oh, yeah, no, these are unconstitutional, unfortunately, we have to live under them.
Yeah.
Notice I didn't say abide by them because whatever anybody wants to do is their choice. I'm not telling anybody how to live their life. I'm just saying if you want to stay out of prison, like it's a sticky situation.
It is. It is. I mean, like right now, today in the Supreme Court, they heard oral arguments on the January 6th thing. They're charging them as federal crimes, and they're not really. I mean, there should be hundreds and hundreds of those people who were charged with a federal crime. It should be taken. It should be converted to a misdemeanor, I think, or canceled altogether. So it's looking good that and then a lot of the charge, if the Supreme Court says that's unconstitutional what they are doing to the people on January 6th, how do they word it? A lot of the cases against Donald Trump will be dropped. So,
will there be anything for like the firefighter that was caught on video there that didn't do anything, was just out in the crowd and lost his job, or all those?
Hey, they're using some law that says if you interfere with something inside the Congress, they made the Congress was scared something was going to happen during their counting of the votes. That they're the ones that stopped it. Nobody from the outside actually stopped it, right? The Congress and their security made a decision to
but if there's a tornado, and I realize I'm talking about a natural disaster compared to what happened on that date, but if there's a tornado warning and there's a report, oh yeah, there is a touchdown, and you could be in the path, are you just going to sit there and keep counting votes, or are you going to go, oh, we should move to safety? Like they could only be told so much, and with people going into the buildings, and whether we want to argue about whether they were let in or forcefully entered, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Not really an argument. There's plenty of video evidence showing police officers blowing people in.
I'm
but the argument is that the law they're using is saying that the people literally, physically stopped it, and they did not. But their word, the way they're doing it, is they're saying the law says yes, they did, just for being there, right? And that's what the Supreme Court's going to rule on.
So the law actually says that they have to
physically, like go in there and touch all the papers and stuff like that. Physically go in there and stop it.
But then it goes back to the entering of the buildings, things like that, and
but see, that's a hard one to get in front of.
Well, there's a lot of people that belongs.
Theoretically, the building belongs to us, the people.
There was a lot of people that didn't even go in, though.
Yeah.
That were out on the street or whatever, up to the building.
And they just rounded these people up like cattle. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and they, some of these were off-duty police officers, firefighters, all types of stuff. People that would, in general, be seen as outstanding citizens that were basically forced out of their work. Forced out of their job, harassed about it. There was a lot of ripples from that because due to the media and the public and how they portrayed it. So
have you noticed, Rob? Change this up. Sorry to stop you, but I just want to mention this. Right, I came back on my Wednesday shows for a few weeks now, and I've stayed off politics. Guns and Barbecue comes in here, and back on to politics, just like that.
I know, and I didn't even bring him up. It was all you. It's like
you're a bad influence.
I think you just were like, "Hey, Guns and Barbecue's in here. This is somebody to argue with. This is gonna be great."
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, I know this conversation's going on great, but it's gone 8:00, and as I tried to explain to Squibload last week, I know I've only got a few hundred subscribers, but my original plan was and still is, this is like a radio show. A good example, I know he's earning millions, but Joe Rogan. His show is what, an hour and a half? He doesn't run over an extra half hour because the conversation's good, because there's another DJ waiting to take his spot.
I don't know. I thought I've seen some Joe Rogan podcasts that are like 2.5, 3 hours
well, whatever
long.
they are, but it's the same length all the time. He doesn't run over. He might cut it short if something's happening, but what I'm saying is, he goes, "Oh, I'm going to keep this conversation going. Fuck the guy who's up next." You know what I'm saying? Wait
a minute. Who do you work for, though? I mean, what's your? Yeah, who's coming on next? What's?
I don't know. Some other YouTuber.
Oh, gee.
I mean, because people leave here to go watch somebody else.
Since when?
I'm a very.
Do people worry about corking? Like,
hey, I do, because I'm a very nice guy.
6 months away.
I don't like people doing
indoctrinated.
it to me. I don't like people doing it to me. So why should I do it to other people?
Completely indoctrinated.
Because I'm not an asshole like the rest of them, you know?
This sounds like some type of weak excuse. I don't know.
You know? See, you're discriminating against me because I'm left-handed. You know? But this has nothing to do with being left-handed. I gotta use the left-handed card. You're discriminating against me.
I don't.
Yeah.
What kind of language is left? I mean, what does that translate from to mean wrong in English?
Well, to me,
it's
right-handers
like warmed
are wrong.
Up toast with cheese on it.
Yeah. People that eat mac and cheese are wrong. There's no excuse for it.
If this is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, as soon as this is over, I plan on having some grilled cheese sandwiches, actually, made with mayo on the outside of the bread because it crisps up better. Using American cheese, which is plastic, but American cheese is good for grilled cheese sandwiches. That's about all it is good for, you know. So I'm not going to a half hour of food.
Speed burgers,
you know. So now I prefer putting cheddar on.
Cheddar is good, but let's say you can't. There's something that happens to American cheese when you melt it that just changes the flavor profile and
turns to plastic.
Yeah, it turns it to real plastic. Is what it
might. It might.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wind this up. You know, I still didn't cover the 2 topics that I left off from last week. I wrote them down there, and we still ain't got to them. So I'll have to carry this. Oh, the quiz.
You're welcome.
The quiz.
I mean, I'm going to win anyways.
The drawing is on the 1st of May, because I've run it for a month now. And 2 Live Moves should have got his package. I believe I mailed it out to him. And from the last one. But the quiz is to do with the latest Mission Impossible movie, you know, Dead Reckoning. I want to know what firearm, i.e. handgun, that Ethan Hunt used in the Arabian desert scene. Basically, make, model. That's what I'm looking for. That's it. It's a real easy one. You know, and you can look it up on Google. I can't, if I tell you any more, I'll damn well give you the answer. You know what I'm saying? So, what handgun did he use in the Arabian desert scene? That's all I want to know. Email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. So, there we go. So, I am going to wind it up. I want to look at something real quick. Let's have a look. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this thing. A lot of people have already dropped out because they've gone on to other people who are streaming shows tonight. See? That's why I do it.
No, you're going to go on for 5 minutes saying goodbye. You said you were quitting on them. So they were like, oh, the hell with it.
Yeah, well, like Squiblo, he just as soon as I said that last week, he left. You know, but you know. Anyway, so that's it. I'm out of here, guys. So I'm saying this to the chat for the people out there. I'll be back next week at 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. I do appreciate you stopping by. Let your friends know I'm back. If they can come over here, they, make me bigger and stronger this time around, And I'm fighting for the left-hander. Remember that, So I will see you all.
A lot of us call that the stranger.
I will see you all next week. So good night, everybody. Good night, Sabrina.
Didn't even let us say goodbye.